Hello. I hope you're all having a beautiful, blessed day today. Yes, hi, Muffin. Today we're going to continue reading out of the book of John. We're going to read in chapter 6, verses 16 through 21. It's a short reading today, but I think it's pretty meaningful still nonetheless. So, come along. It reads as this. When evening came, his disciples went down to the sea, got into a boat, and started across the Sea of Capernaum. It was now dark, and Jesus had not yet come to them. The sea became rough, because a strong wind was blowing. When they had rowed about 3 or 4 miles, they saw Jesus walking on the sea and coming near the boat. And they were frightened. But he said to them, "It is I. Do not be afraid." Then they were glad to take him into the boat, and immediately the boat was at the land to which they were going. This is today's scripture reading. I've heard a lot of different sermons on this passage alone. There's these few lines of scripture. A lot of different variations, a lot of different takes and opinions on it. And I'll give you my opinion. I think that this passage shows us a couple of things. One, that Jesus knows no limits. That we as humans were limited by physical things like gravity or, the weather or, our abilities to, jump and fly and do silly things. But Jesus can do anything. Walking on water was a breeze for him, just like walking on land. It was no different. I think that's the obvious, right? That's the obvious in this message, that nothing can stop Jesus. But I think a deeper meaning to this is that when we're on our own, trying to figure life out on our own without Christ in our life, we're fighting. We're struggling to stay afloat through life, and as the word is, to stay above water. You make ends meet and doing our jobs and keeping relationships going and keeping friends together and just trying to struggle and make our way through life. And even if we're doing really well through life, we still have to fight and work and earn our way through all of it. And sometimes it is a little scary, whether you have enough money to pay your bill or buy food, wondering if there's turmoil or war in the world. Sometimes life is scary. But when we bring Jesus into our lives, when we allow Christ to come into our lives and we welcome him, life changes. It says here that the boat immediately got to land. Right after Jesus got in the boat. Like, they were struggling, rowing, paddling for 3 or 4 miles in rough seas. And it wasn't for a lack of effort that they didn't make it very far, for they did. But they were still fighting and struggling. And then when they allowed Jesus to come in their lives changed drastically. Most of these men who followed Jesus were just common folk. Some of them were fishermen. Some of them were tax collectors. Some of them were just average people. The run-of-the-mill people. Nobody special. Nobody out of the ordinary. And yet, Jesus chose them. But yet, they still had to welcome him into their lives. And then the same goes for us, that we'll still fight, we'll still struggle, we'll still have to work for what we are going through in life. But immediately your life will get far, far better, exponentially better with Christ in your life. It won't become easy. Don't make no mistake about that. Just because Christ is in your life doesn't mean that everything immediately becomes easy and that we're never going to have hard times. In fact, we're going to have more hard times because you become different once Christ is in your life. You view your life differently. And these struggles and these hard times that you go through will test your resolve, and it'll test your strength and your faith and your belief. But that's what it's for, is to help shape and strengthen and grow you into a strong follower of Christ. That when rough seas come, when stormy weather blows your way, you can just smile knowing that Christ is by your side. For Jesus said, "Do not fear, for I am with you." What comfort that is. What comfort knowing that the one true God is with us. It's kind of like when you're a little child, or even if you have little kids and you're scared of the dark, or they have a bad dream, and you call out to mom and dad, or the kids call out to you, and you're comforted by your parent, or you comfort them, and it's a lot like that when Jesus is in your life. You're comforted knowing that you're safe and secure. And that's how it is with Jesus. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing knowing that the man, the God that created all of this, everything, air in my lungs, the sky, the trees, the Bible, everything that we have in this world, he created. And we have to give him thanks. But he wants to have a relationship with us, have a friendship with us. And what a blessing this is. I thank you all for coming along this journey today and hearing today's scripture. I hope that you like and comment and, possibly share this with somebody who you think could hear it or needs to hear it. I thank you. And as always, I love you, and God bless.